Hey, Norman with iSaveTractors. In this video, I'm going to replace the PTO belts on this John Deere 400. Check it out. So one of the PTO belts on the John Deere 400 failed at the end of the last big storm we had here in southern Maine. We got about 8 to 10 inches of really wet, heavy snow, and I pushed the tractor a little bit harder than I should have. And on top of that, I probably did not have my PTO drive set up tight enough. So I probably had some belt slippage with wet, heavy snow and me pushing it hard. That's what caused this failure. In any case, let's replace it. It's not too hard, so come along with me. On another note, look at this crazy ice that we've had. This is probably like 5 inches of pure ice that has frozen over inside of a lot of my little outbuildings here. And all of these are built on elevations too. So we've had a crazy amount of flood and freeze this winter. It's been nuts. So now I've removed the snowblower and parked the tractor in my shop. To get at the PTO belts, all I have to do is remove this front grille and remove the lower PTO guard. And then there's a couple of shields around the primary PTO pulley. Once those come out, then it's very, very simple to replace the belts. Check it out. To remove the grille, all you have to do is lift the hood. There are 2 bolts above the heat shield going down and holding the grille in place. Remove those 2, tilt, and pull the grille right out. Now to remove the belt shield, just remove the 2 bolts on both sides, and it'll come right out. Now remove this lower PTO guard. It's just held on with 2 9/16" bolts. Just pull those out and the whole guard will come out. Now that all the PTO guards and shields are off, all you have to do is pull the belt out of this lower pulley, and then it will just pull right out from the top. Whenever you replace belts, it's always a good idea to inspect the pulleys while you're at it. Inspect the drive pulley, the idler pulley, and the driven pulley. Look it over for any sharp edges or burrs or anything that can contribute to a belt failure. Here are the new belts. These are the John Deere OEM belts. You can see the part number right on the screen. You can pause it if you need to write it down. It's AM35380. It's a double Kevlar PTO belt setup here. Now to get the belts on the pulleys, it's a pretty simple procedure. Just feed them up through the bottom, get them in the grooves, and that's pretty much it. Now to tighten up the tension of the PTO belt when the PTO lever is engaged, you go back to under the hood. Just in front of the dashboard, there is this PTO threaded section here. This will adjust the amount of spring tension that the lever puts on the idler pulley when you engage the PTO. The reason I think I need to tighten it up a little bit is whenever you have a PTO pulley that's not 100% tight, when you push it under heavy load, the belt will slip. And that slipping creates a lot of frictional heat, and that heat is what breaks down the belt and causes it to fail prematurely. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to give this little threaded rod section a few more turns in to tighten it, and then see how that does. Now I'm going to test out the tension and see if it's tight enough. Once I got the tension of the belts where I wanted it to, now it's time to put everything back together. Everything goes back together just in simple reverse order. Goes back in pretty easy. Oh, I got distracted by dirty hydraulic caps, so I got to clean those off before I continue on. Now to put the grill back on, all you have to do is tilt it starting at the bottom. There are two little locator tabs in the tractor frame. You line those tabs up and you tilt it into place. Then you've got to pick the hood up and kind of pry up on this little heat shield a tiny bit so that grill will slide right into place. Once that's into place, all you have to do is put those two top bolts in and you're done. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful on how to replace the front PTO belts on your John Deere 400 garden tractor. Don't forget iSaveTractors.com. We are the leading developers of aftermarket parts for old cast iron small engines, such as the Kohler K532 engine that's on this John Deere 400. We make pistons, rods, gaskets as valves, seals, carburetors, soon to be cylinder heads. We make all kinds of parts for the old Kohlers, the old Briggs, the old Tecumsehs, and soon the old Onan engines. My name is Norman. Thank you for saving the tractors.